Hello and welcome back course-side in Tacen. The most beautiful slalom course in the region has turned into a canoe slalom cross. What a start we have. We fly down the big pipe and then it's a case of up and down, Eskimo turns, and the first across the post and the second across the coast goes through to the next round. Well, we have the men's event and the women's event. For the men's, a big turnout, 32 athletes. So it's the eighth, the final, quarterfinal, semi-final, and then clearly the big finals. And for the women, well, a few numbers because a lot of the women are going in the K1 tomorrow and they don't want to risk tiring themselves out, which is important. So we only have 12 athletes, but I think we'll have the same amount of excitement. As you can see on your screen, well, you see heat number 1. 1 and 2 go through. Look at the bibs, not the boats. Look at the colour of the bibs. Red, green, blue and yellow. And what that tells you is visually who is doing well and who is not. Unfortunately, in this discipline, we do have lots of disqualifications. You go round the wrong side, you're out. You go too early, you're out. So we frequently have only 2 or 3 crossing the line first. It's important, it's sudden death, so it's important to cross the line first and second. Decisions are made instantly. No appeal process, so the fun here is what you get is what you see. The first 2 from each situation, heat there, heat 1 to 8, go directly through to the next round. You see the green gates. Of course, you have a choice. There are 2 on each level. Andre Tanker, Jakob Stanovsky, Alistair Anderson and Mate Joheb. So they're starting on the lake. And they are off. First 2 to go through, remember. You choose your line. This caused an awful lot of fun earlier on in the actual slalom. But with these creek boats, much easier. Well, they go up. It's the same rules as slalom. So they go up the reds. You have a choice. You go either side. And then you go down, as you see. Another red up. The trick is to go the same side as someone else. You then do the Eskimo turn. It's a 360-degree turn. Choosing which side of the rock. Obviously in the slalom competition earlier, everyone went the other side of the rock. And here we go, cruising over. Red's going to take it. And green is going to be second. Andre Tanker comes through and Stanovsky comes through in second place. So these 2 will go through to the next round. Simple as that. Andre Tanker has had a very busy 2 weeks. He just missed out on the first place in the slalom last week in Prague, World Cup number 4, by 1/100th of a second from Yuri Priskovic, who's not actually here this week. There you go, 360-degree turn. And if it all goes well, you have 4 races in about 1.5 hours. So they need to manage their energy at the same time. Start list, heat number 2, Marko Petek, Vidkude, Maricic, Keenan Simpson, Devin McKeown. 2 from Slovenia, 2 from North America, USA and Canada. So there's a chance to see quite a few of the younger, upcoming Slovene athletes. Perhaps they're at advantage because they have no fear whatsoever coming over this big drop. There's Marke in the picture, wearing the red bib. Third in the green bib. 2 of those both from Slovenia. Next we have Keenan was 17 years old, by the way, going back to school next year from Canada. Devin McKeown was the Olympics in C2. Father Jamie also top paddler. And they're off. Looks like Keenan has a cracking start in the blue. First over. It's crucial which line you take in the actual slalom, but here it doesn't seem to matter. Maybe some local knowledge. Both taking different sides. We'll have to see later in the competition which one proves to be the most efficient. So far, Slovenia leading the ball, has a good lead now. So we have two upstream sticking to the same side. Is he going to be pushed out the way? No, taking a low, so it's a low risk approach there. So Marius is going to cruise over the line. So Green takes the crucial first place. Who's going to take the second place and go to the next round? Well, just coming in third, it looks like it's the blue. Looks like Keenan Simpson. That's what they're calling it. Devin McKeown, not his day. If you don't come in the first two, you're out straight away. Go home and have a shower. Keenan Simpson was disqualified. That changes things. So Marko Petek and Vidkuda Masek go through. So the heats are going to come thick and fast. In total we have 8 heats, so 32 athletes, 16 go to the next round. Heat number 3. Sabasa Saki, Simon Owen, Tim Novak, Mikael Smolan, all experienced at this level. 2 from Slovenia again. Japan had a great result today, taking the bronze medal in the K1 men's. They took this bronze medal also in the Olympic Games in the C1, so everything's looking good and solid for the start of the next Olympic cycle. Of course, the next Olympics going to be held in Tokyo. Simon Owen, he's been around a while now. Tim Novak. Pacing. As you see, there's a bit of a current there. Hold back behind the line. And they're off. Who's going to be the first to go? In the middle 2 lanes, green and blue, are the local Slovenians. Sasaki from Japan has the ideal line, ideal start. Managed to keep the speed going. Is he going to be knocked out of the way? Well, perhaps local knowledge coming into play there. But he manages to use his strength to keep going in the red bib. Same tactic as before, but look at that strength from Sasaki. Do the 360 turn. And cruising over the line. What we've noticed is if you're clear after the last red, it's fairly straight sailing for the last 60 metres under the bridge across the finish line. Because Smolan, as I say, didn't start in the end. Sasaki from Oven. So 3 heats have gone, 5 to go. Super slow motion shot just shows the determination. It's only for fun, but they certainly want to win. Well, here we go. Next one, Louis-Philippe Lega, Martin Stanovsky, Mikhail Taylor, and Yannick Levelet. So 3 from Canada, 1 from Kazakhstan. So there's going to be competition still though. Louis-Philippe Lega chatting to the compatriots. So the course in total is going to be about 240 meters long. Crucially, you need to negotiate the first section safely and fast. And there's 2 red boys. Michael Taylor did well last week. From Canada, obviously, in the blue. Was the Olympic boat, by the way. Just beat Ben Hayward in a very close battle. Yannick Levelet. This is an exercise in its own, just keeping ahead of the stream, keeping off it. They're lining up. And they're off. Michael Taylor in the middle. He has the most desire, it looks like. Coming over this big lip. This is quite unique in the circuit. Michael Taylor coming off to an absolute flying start here from Canada. Well, 3 of them decided to go. Looks like the red. As he goes back, Legar's going to have a bit of a problem. Looks like he's going to be disqualified. No doubt about who's leading so far. Michael Taylor from Canada. Yes, we thought, unfortunately, red's out. So it's a case of green and red. Doing the Eskimo turn. All red can do now is annoy the others. And once you're through the last upstream, it's very close. Clean sailing, just coming just in front of us, under the bridge, through the last gate. So Michael Taylor will go through. Stanovsky, 2 Canadians out. And Legar is disqualified from this. So they're on the same course as the slalom. It's a course that was built in 1939. So it has a huge history. It's hosted 3 World Championships, 1955, 1991 and 2010. It's on the Sava River, about 15 kilometers away from central Ljubljana, surrounded by forests. Bit of a dam. It's actually, the course was changed in 1990. They put a concrete base on it. Makes it a lot safer, a lot more manageable, but there's still a lot of swirls going on, as you can see from the marks in the actual rocks. So it makes it a very predictable course. But these athletes in the slalom cross making it very, very easy. So 4 heats gone, halfway through the first heat process. Next to go, Finn Butcher, Ryan Wesley, Felix Ushmad and Boris Nevu. Boris Nevu, ex-number 1 in the world. Finn Butcher cracking run today. Ryan Wesley made the final today. There's Finn Butcher from New Zealand, spent his summer in the Czech Republic. Ryan Wesley talks about his enormous will to win. Made 2 podiums in the last couple of weeks. Felix Ushmad, very young and very good talent, still at school. And Boris Nevu, disappointed by his high standards today. One of the most admired athletes on the series. Last week rather, he sunk. He did very well, but he actually sunk doing his Eskimo turn. And unfortunately, his bib came off. Well, they're allowed to go. It looks like Boris Nevu in the yellow has the flying start. So he's setting himself up. It's all about positioning himself correctly. And we've seen all the fast boats taking the left-hand gate. Very controlled. We could have a bit of a battle here, but crucially, the Finn Butcher just. Oh no, he hasn't gone around yet. Finn Butcher in red has to go back. So it's Boris Nevu. Ushmad from Austria at the moment. Huge lead developing. All they have to do is safely, taking no risk. One going either side. It looks like they're going cruise over the last 60 meters. Finally come out, probably the deepest part of the course, safely do the Eskimo turn. So a great big scoreboard there. It's really helped all the spectators. Thousands of people here this weekend. Boris Nevu and Felix Oshmart go through and qualify directly for the quarterfinals. So far, we've had two disqualified. You have to go out the correct side. So that gets quite difficult. If you get pushed away, you lose most of the time. So no mercy here. Instant decisions made. Next heat's coming up. Viprindis from the Czech Republic. Absolute flyer. Already won two slalom crosses this season. And was disqualified last weekend with Vavra Hradilek. We still don't know why. But Boris Nevu in control as ever, coming over, taking the first place this heat. Correct, as I said before, the first two from each heat go through to the next round. Viprindis, Tren Long, Ulan Valent and Tim Coward. Czech Republic, USA, Slovenia and Australia. There's Viprindis. They can't even give their signs today. They all have very, very remarkable signs. But as they're always having to back paddle, Tren Long was very dynamic last week. Ulan Valent from Slovenia. I think that's the sixth Slovenian athlete we've seen so far. And Tim Coward from Australia. Just to make sure they're in a straight line. As we've seen every time so far, the start is absolutely crucial. Expect to see Viprindis in the red. He's the pedigree in this race. Keeps out of trouble. Tren, on the other hand, likes the action. So the athletes watching them flying over the start. So it's about a 5-second sprint. Put himself in the right position. Wait for the start of the column. Czech Republic, USA, Slovenia. And they're off, and as is predictable, Viprindis really has mastered the art of these creep baits. He was fourth last week in the slalom and the fourth Czech paddler, all within a second of each other. And this is what we like, it's a bit of fun. Look at that, no messing from the USA. But it doesn't matter. Viprindis is tactically saying, well, we're so far ahead, it doesn't really matter. Tren Long, very solid individual. No messing with him. Is Vic going to take his revenge, or is he going to wait patiently? Well, it's starting to be a bit mixed up in there. Tren Long, expertly through, round, and coming through. One more upstream to go. Tren Long and Viprindis easily negotiate themselves through. I think what we might see is big margin this, but when we go to the quarterfinals and semi-finals, hopefully we're going to see some much closer fighting. So they finished just under the bridge. Gives them a chance to go to the side. That's where they can actually pull the boats out and then walk up 200 metres where they're competing again. In a few minutes' time, we're going to have the two more heats of the men, then we're going to go on to the women's first round. Matthias Vega, Antoine Launay, Segura Sakasi and Ante Yukan. Quite a few Slovenian paddlers here. It's really a good opportunity to give the juniors a bit of chance to see what it's like at this level for Austria. Matthias Vega. It's been a real character, Antoine Launay. Been competing a lot of World Cups this year, representing Portugal. As Sasaki getting GoPro himself to watch out on social media to see the images. Car from Slovenia. Needs to go slightly back a bit. You have to wait on the starting. It's crucial there, as you've seen in every single occasion. The athlete who's been first over is qualified. So essentially all you have to do is a 15-yard sprint and you book your position, barring no disasters. Here we go with a very impressive Slovenian start system. Perhaps it needs a little bit of tinkering with. And they're off. And it's green coming through fast, so local knowledge. That's Lorne from Portugal, of course. Then Japan comes in next. They've all decided to go for the same side. All happens to happen. It's one of you go for the others and you have a clear run. So this is what we want to see, I guess. Bit of a battle there. Normally no damage done in these creek boats, which are very, very sturdy, but Lorne's been held up a bit. In blue, it's Sasaki for Japan has come up to the same start. That's quite clever if you look at both starts, both sides. In blue, but still Sasaki coming through. Well, luckily for them, they both have quite a significant lead. And cruising over the line. No point using too much energy. Antoine Lorne is first to come across. Sasaki from Japan is second to come across. So we have two Sasakis qualified. I wonder if they're going to come against, well, they'll only come against each other in the final if they do meet up. Seven of the 8 heats gone so far. Very spectacular. After the start, they fly over the top. And the last again, Slovenia, Canada, Portugal and France. Jan Zakle, Andre Musgrave. Andre and Budilil. So France, Portugal, Canada and Slovenia. Good effort from Slovenia, putting so many chaps in this race. Also Canada, the full team have turned out. Last World Cup of the season. It's all about fun. Absolutely flying off in blue. Valandres, we've just seen another Landre go a few minutes ago. While taking control. Well, they're all suddenly going for the same side. The first one through normally is the one that takes the credit and pulls away from the others. Second upstream, just turned in. This is the slalom cross coming you directly from the Tacen course. Just about to do an Eskimo turn. So 2 upstreams, 2 Eskimo turns, and then a long sprint to the finish. And we're hoping for some more exciting action as they come through. Well, he needs to come up. Oh, that's the wrong way around. Should be in an eddy, should be okay. But it certainly cost him an awful lot of time. And cruising across. It's green and yellow. Escova, Bolio. Disqualified. So Jaske from Slovenia who goes through. Well, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2, 16 athletes who will go through to the quarterfinals in a few minutes.
We have top 16 athletes of K1 and Cross of 2016.
Coming to you live course side in Slovenia. We had a lot of fun this morning with the women's C1, the men's C1, and the K1. Tomorrow morning, if you're around, we do have the K1 women and then the C2. It's on a shortened course, 14 gates. There were a couple of technical problems with some rocks at the bottom of the course, but we certainly had an exciting, fast shoot. So we see a recap of what we've seen. Tunka, Stanovsky, Masek, Pitak, Saki, Arvin, Taylor, Stanovsky, Boris Nevu, Oshmar, Long, Coward, Landry Sasaki, and Laone Musgrave. So we have quite a few family connections that could meet up in the quarterfinals and finals today. There's the course. You see the whole length. You see the actual gates being just put out of the way, the gates for the slalom. And now it's down to the slalom cross for the women. Exactly the same course, exactly the same thing. They start off behind the line. It's moved up. They pedal for 5 or 6 seconds, and then they go. Veronika Vetova, Joanna Medon, Tracy Hines. Veronika Vetova won last week in Prague. And the heat 2, I'd say, Amelie Hilgetova, Luz Bederman, and Martina Wegman, who has also won one this year so far. Kimberly Woods, who won the C1 about 2 hours ago. Kate Eckhart, Ashley Nee, Anna Novak, Slovenia Esmeralda, and Jessica Gronfeld. So familiar names now if you're following the Canoe slalom cross. It's the same athletes that turn out. Kimberly Woods, she won the C1. Then she's telling me she can't party tonight because she has the K1 tomorrow, but is putting herself on the line with the slalom cross. There's some of the athletes who are just discussing tactics, discussing how they're going to go, looking at lane allocations. So heat number 1, red, green and blue. Tracy Hines, a loyal servant to this sport. From the USA, there's Veronika from the Czech Republic, from Prague. Joanna Medon in the green from Poland. So good international field here, Czech Republic, Poland. Only 2 boats have been informed. Let's hope they're not disqualified. Well, if they are, what we saw last week was the fastest disqualified go through. But this is really good to have a training run. Diving over the side to see what the sensations are going to be. Well, both safely out of the washing machine. And it's great to see them really going for it. Are they going to have a battle? Pride at stake? They certainly are. So there's only 2 and it's the best one yet. So lead swapping hands, keep up the activity. They're both fierce competitors, as you can see, where they're taking different options. Getting stuck a little bit on the eddy line. Votova is slightly ahead now. Does the Eskimo turn? Yes, she's safely up. They don't have much time to turn here. They only have about 10 meters. Now the cart's going rather fast, but the water is quite deep, so that's fairly safe. Well, they've decided to slow down the pace a bit, and by definition, they both will qualify for the next round, which is going to be the semi-finals. Well, they're discussing the tactics, discussing their experiences. I think we're going to see more action as the competition hots up a bit later on. We're going to have 4 boats being pulled out, these big plastic boats. There's been a really fantastic crowd here all weekend. It shows there's a lot of enthusiasm, especially when the Slovenians did well today. Peter Kauser, he took a silver medal in the Olympic Games, then he won today in the K1. He was sensational in the semi-final. He also put forward a very solid run. Hundreds and hundreds and thousands, in fact, people cheering him down all the way. They see no messing, I want the result. That's where Veronica won last week because she's so determined. There's the judges making sure everything's in order. So far, not too many disqualifications. Amelia Helgetova, Lois Betteridge, and Martina Wegman. Amelia Helgetova is the niece of legendary Stepanka. Martina Wegman is a specialist on big water, and we've seen her already win this season in Liceu. As Amelia, you have to be good to carry that family name. Martina Wegman. And in between them is Lois Betteridge from Canada. Let's see how she's going to go. Looking, has a game face on, positioning herself correctly, wondering when the starter's going to pull this sophisticated starting system up. And they're off. 2 to go through, so one's going to be eliminated. Well, it's bouncing along. It's a big hole there. You need to go just around it. It could give the, but well, they're both just through. You're allowed to push it out the way, which they both did. But does that give Lewis a bit of an advantage on the near side? We have yet to see. No, she's hanging back a little bit. So the second upstream, and if she takes, he might be able to take one of them out. Oh, this is a wonderful move. Oh, it just needs the strength to come through. You have to go the right, so you have to go back, unfortunately. Struggling there, Louis just had, she took on a brave move, but didn't quite come off this time. So it's going to be Czech Republic and Netherlands who go through. So it's the second Czech Republic athlete to go through to the next round. They'll be competing against each other in the semi-final. And late entry Martina Wegman from the Netherlands. You can hear in the background there's still loads and loads of children watching, taking on the enthusiasm. Will they be next champions in a few years' time? There you go, the real battle. Oh, it's just such a shame that Louis just couldn't quite muscle it through, and then she got stuck behind the, oh, she knows it's there. Stuck behind the post, but bravely finishes. Most of these athletes have already been down a couple of times today. Next to go, Kimberly Woods, Kate Eckhart, Ashley Nee. We saw them in the cross last weekend. Kimberly Woods has already won the C1 today in the slalom. Kate Eckhart is in both semi-finals, in the semi-final today and also in the semi-final tomorrow in the K1. There's Kim Woods, 23 years old, a couple of days ago. She's going to celebrate her birthday when she gets home, because tomorrow obviously she has the K1 and then she needs to fly back to the UK. Kate Eckhart from Tasmania. Can't see her yet. No, looks like it's going to be another two-man race. Well, they're both determined. So both will go through to the next round, but it's good to have a warm-up. They're both fierce competitors. Kate struggled a little bit there. First season competing internationally, been over in Europe for a lot of the summer. But this is, Kim Woods is taking it easy, there's not much at stake. Both of them will go through. And we haven't seen us, with the advantage of the start, other than starting behind a rope, we've seen no great advantage. So this is just a case of cruising around and saving your best game until a little bit later. But she's taken the inside line, knocked Kate Eckhart just out the way. Both safely turned. Kim needs to turn the boat a little bit. And then they really are both just cruising through. Both go safely through to the next round, which will be the semi-finals. So it's fast and furious here. So far I've had 3 of the 4 heats. Well, Kim Wood has been disqualified, but if we go by what happened last week, it didn't really matter. They actually let the 3rd disqualified person go through, so we'll actually have to see what happens there. Let's see where the problem was. I didn't actually personally see it. She didn't do an Eskimo turn, did she? Just went up and down the same side. You have to do a 360 turn, and Kim obviously felt the rocks approaching and did the clever thing and said, no, I'm playing the game and I have a big race tomorrow. Right, look at that, great crowd, mid-afternoon. They've been all day here from 9 in the morning. It's now 4:30. Next to go, Ida Novak from Slovenia. Lesbinik from Slovenia and Jessica Gronfield from Canada. There's Ida, been on the circuit now a couple of years. Taya, also from Slovenia. New on the scene, certainly international level. And Jessica Gronfeld, who's been on the scene many years ago, many years, full stop. And they're off. So far they're trying to sandwich. Aya Novak is certainly has the local knowledge and the oh, that's a bit spectacular. Jessica Gopher, hope she's okay. Saw the bottom of the boat very clearly there. Aya Novak is clean as we see. First 2 will go through. And as we thought, Kim clear, it's red, just doing the Eskimo turn. This is where Kim Woods messed up, but the big rock was approaching rather quickly. Aya Novak from Slovenia simply come across first, moves into the semi-finals. Jessica Gronfeld easily again second. So those 2 go on to fight another day. So that's the women. We now have the 8 semi-finalists named, and the action will continue thickly and fastly. Very lucky with the weather. There's no wind. Lovely and warm conditions, so when they go for a bit of a bath, it doesn't really matter. It's quite pleasant out there. So be back to the men now. We saw a few minutes ago in 8 different heats, some fairly competitive racing by some very competitive athletes. I think they're yet to show their best. And it's the same system. It's the 2 top athletes from each heat go through to the next round. It's quarterfinal stage, last 16. And I'm just taking a resume of the qualification. So the Czech Republic and Poland go through from Group 1. Czech Republic and Netherlands from Group 2. Australia and Great Britain from Group 3. And Slovenia and Canada. So a good international field here. Go through from Gate 4. Heat number 4. So Andre Tunker in your picture. .25 years old from Prague. Quarterfinals. Next 2 Slovenian athletes. Andre, one of the smoothest paddlers in his canoe, in his kayak, sorry. Let's see how he's going. Marko Petek, Vid Kudemanic from Slovenia, and Jakub Stanovski. Japan, Slovenia, Kazakhstan, Canada in the next heat, USA, Austria, Australia and France, and finally Portugal, Canada, Portugal, Japan. So we have some family connections racing against each other. I don't think that'll stop them wanting to go for the win. So as you see in the background, we're very close to Ljubljana with the signposting there. Fabulous location when it's all working. That's the motto, and certainly there's been a warm reception. There you go. There's Jessica Gonfer walking back up the course as we saw 2 minutes ago. She just qualified, taking their baits up. They're quite heavy, by the way, but there's no assistance here. Walk up the 250 metres, climb up the hill. Bit of a paddle around. So we're just waiting. Well, that's what we've seen already. Tonka in red, in yellow. Only 2 will go through. And they're off. Really fired up here. Pretty much all the boats going river left on the first up. This is where we might see some pushing out the way, but no, in blue he's gone a little bit too low. Mosic has gone too low. Taking a good lead now. Well, no doubt about it. Who's leading? It's the red boat. Stanovski, Jakub Stanovski is taking his time. Well, we've seen a few changes of hand here. So it's red to go first. Green to go second. Andre Tonka takes it in the end. And Stanovski also coming through. So we saw a bit of competition there. It's all about positioning yourself from the start, and then all about positioning yourself first round the first red. But Tonka, almost like a team competition there. There you see Sasaki from Japan in the red. Get through to the final in the actual main competition. Who's going to be the first over the lip? Looks like Oven is in the green bib. Oh, there's a bit of overtaking there. Oh no, what we have at the top? Stanovski was really holding them back. Sasaki from Japan. There you go. Push it out if you like, but Sasaki from Japan is really doing what he did in the first heat, which is just like being cool and taking it on. He should have plenty of space here. There, dives through the Eskimo turn and comes, and it's Simon Oven also goes through. So far, Tonka looking forward to the next heat. There's some big athletes and some top kayakers going forward. There's the judge concentrating on his job. You're allowed to knock the balloon out of the way. There's Tim. Austria still at school. He's absolutely flying over the edge. With 10 taking the right side. Oh, very close here. Felix having a few problems apart from that. 10 long from the USA. Looks like he's really establishing a good lead while the others are fighting it out behind him. Tim Coward from Australia looks like he's come out of that group probably the best. Long from USA. Tim Coward behind. But Boris Neville also is going to push him out of the way. The race is very much on for second place. 10 long is going to take the victory. And who's going to be the first up from the turn? Looks like Boris Neville, who was doing really well last week until he took on too much water. And Boris Neville cruises across the line in second. So 10 long. And Boris Neville go on. There you go. Just managed to Tim Coward just managed to put himself in. So we have the Launiers against the rest of the world from Portugal in the next heat. Here you go, Antoine in red, Damien in blue. Andrew Musgrave from Canada in green. There's Antoine. Andrew Musgrave from Canada in the green. Sasaki from Japan. Only 2 go through. Pushing back to get on the line. First start, and they are off. They're all off to a good start. Just have the fastest start as they come over the edge. And he's clear of the rest. Great paddling there. There's a Launier. Are they going to push it out of the way, or are they going to help each other? Pretty gentlemanly stuff there, both determined to go through. Must have been discussing tactics before there. Antoine and Damien Launier so far clear of the field. Are they both going to go the same side and help each other, or are they going to cut the risks a little bit? Well, this could be dangerous. Sasaki's trying to split them up. Damien Launier came off that rather badly. Antoine Launier is going to certainly go through. Is he going to try and help or not? No, you can't do that. You can't disqualify. You get kicked out for doing that. So Antoine Launier, despite trying to slow up, he's been disqualified. No, Damien's been disqualified. No, it's probably going to be Antoine Launier who should go through. So we now have the last 8 going through to the semi-final, the 2 semi-finals, sorry. Well, there we go. We see from the first heat, or the first quarterfinal, Tunka Stanovsky. Then we see Sasaki and Oven from the second. Long and Nevu Lorne and Sasaki. So 2 Sasakis in the semi-final. They can meet in the final, which should be good. Marking their places. Who's going to be called for the semi-final lined-up? Should have 4 in each semi-final. First 2 will go through for the final. Well, Hilgertova for the Czech Republic against Medden and Wegman. So let's say we have a little bit of action here. To be fair, it wasn't that close in the first round. There's a couple of guaranteed places going through. That's just walking back up the course. There's Veronika Kvitova looking determined. She won last week in Prague, so she now has a bit of a reputation. So these boats are quite heavy. Amelia Hilgertova in green. Slight build, but very determined character. Been putting forward results the last couple of years now. And last is Martina Wegman from Netherlands in the yellow. So rules are fairly simple. You go over the edge, you go up the reds, down the greens, Eskimo turn after 2 reds and they come over the lip. Martina Wegman in yellow is the first. We do have an Eskimo turn, but a bit earlier. Certainly plays into number 1 there, Martina Wegman. Waiting for the green to come through. And we already have quite a large gap established. Going to have Veronika Kvitova, who's had a bit of a poor start. Will she have enough time to make it up? Well, probably not. It's very much a case of Martina Wegman, Amelia Hilgertova look like they're booking their place to go straight to the final. Who's going to go through last 20 meters? No. Veronika Kvitova realised that she wasn't going to take the place, pulls back a bit. Same. Who's disqualified? Oh, Veronika was disqualified. That's why I guess she had news of that, so didn't push forward. So Amelia Hilgertova and Martina Wegman go through to the final. Next semi-finals, Slovenia, Great Britain, Australia and Canada. 2 places up for grabs. And there you see it, Aya Novak, Kimberly Woods, Kate Eckhart and Jessica Grönfeld. There's Ida Novak in red, Kim Woods in green, Kate Eckhart in blue, and finally Jessica Grönfeld in yellow. Difficult to see where the form is. Local knowledge is going to be Ida Novak in the red. Kimberly Woods, She took a couple of medals 2 weeks ago in the European under-23s. She won the gold medal a few minutes ago in the C1, so she's certainly the form athlete at the moment. But it's Novak and Eckhart who have the good start, especially Ida Novak from Slovenia. But there's a real battle established there. Grinning and determination. It looks like in green, Kimberly Woods has done a little bit stronger than Jessica Grunfeld. So it's very much a case of Novak comes through in blue. Is it going to be Kate Eckhart coming? Well, it's difficult to see. It looks like Kate Eckhart is going to be second. No doubt about who's going to go through to the final. It's Ida Novak from Slovenia. Good local crowd presence, cheering her on. And second across, looks like Kate Eckhart. So we now have the 4 finalists. It's going to be Amelia Hilgertova, Martina Wegman, Ida Novak and Kate Eckhart. So Czech Republic, Netherlands, Slovenia and Australia. So there'll be one more race to see who's the champion of Tacen 2016 Canoe Slalom Cross. So utter determination, but big smiles on their face at the same time. So their confirmation, Slovenia, Australia go through with the Czech Republic and the Netherlands. There we see it's in reverse order. Be watching them in a few minutes' time to see who's the champion of slalom cross for Tacen. Public really having a good relaxing afternoon. It's been an awful long day, many races, a lot of fun, some spectacular action. And it's lining up, making sure everyone has the right bibs, which is a crucial point. I don't think it's every priority in boat. You take whatever boat you can. There's Kate Eckhart being helped up. It's a busy weekend. Made the semi-finals in the C1 women. In the semi-final tomorrow for the K1. And here's the men, Tunka, Sasaki, Arven, Stanovsky. And the first one against Lani, Long, Sasaki and Nevu. So a quarter of the field made up of Japanese. The C2 partnership. Andre Tunka. Well, so far he's always had red. It's given him a lot of good news. Jisaba Sasaki in green this time. Simon Arven in blue. And finally, Jakub Stanovsky from Slovakia in yellow. Semi-final, first of two, obviously. First two will go through. Tunka red, Stanovsky yellow. Sasaki green, Arven blue. What we see in the last final 8 and the quarterfinal was Tunka in red. He's absolutely flown off, be no doubt about that. Oh, it's been a long day. Well, here they are, all off. Looks like Simon in the local is flying off, with Tunka saying, I'm going to sit back and see what happens here and pick my lines afterwards. Not a bad tactic either. Well, this is going to be action, what we want, going all taking the same side. Well, blue certainly missed it. It's to go around again. Tunka, well, what tactics? Held back a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see how Simon Avram was. Did he manage to scrape back through? Because certainly missed it going down, but it looks like Andre Tunka is really controlling this race. Now he needs to wait. This is where experience will tell him to wait and don't get in the mess. Yeah, as we thought, Simon Avram in blue, he was the first down, but he was actually disqualified there. So two places to go. Andre Tunka is showing he is the class act today. There's a battle from green and yellow. I don't know if they realise yet. Oh, they're caught on the edge. It's not the quickest way to go. But it looks like Stanovsky could take it. We'll have to see. They give it to Sasaki. Tsubasa, Sasaki. Oh, great Slalom images. Makes you almost feel like you're on the boat. Antoine Launay, Tuen Long, Suguru Sasaki and Boris Nevu. There's Antoine Launay, turning out to be a bit of a showman. Tuen Long has his poker face on. Suguru Sasaki. And the dark horse, the quiet man, Boris Nevu. And they're off. And it looks like Boris Nevu in the yellow has decided to absolutely fly down this course. We all know he can. Oh, taking a bit of a bump there. Boris Nevu from France. Normally has fins on his boats. Won't have fin on this boat. No need for tracking, but he's taking it really, really well. Oh, in blue. Sasaki had to really waste a couple of seconds and make sure he actually managed to negotiate his way around the pole. Here again, is it going to be a battle hit? No, well done. Boris Nevu is just about to do his Eskimo turn. There he goes. Manages to keep his spray deck on this time. Fell off last week. And will come through to claim his place in the final. So Nevu and Launay go through. And to join Sasaki and Tunka. So Czech Republic, Japan, France and Portugal are going to meet in the final in a few minutes. As you can see, Tunka, Sasaki, Nevu and Launay go through to the final. Well, tension building. We are down to the last 4 athletes for the men and also the women. Yes, well done. There's the crazy horse. That's the guys who spend all their European winter in New Zealand. Organising things. It should be the women's final next. Checking the baits are correctly dried out. So the music, the heartbeat music in the background to rev the crowd up a little bit. The last 2 events are going to come forward. Those clearly the scoring mechanisms. Well, we had pretty much non-stop action since 9 o'clock this morning, so that's 8 hours of action. Boris has been hobbling rather badly all week, in fact. Andre Launay coming up to the start. He'll be in the final in a couple of minutes. There's the starter. Best position in the house. So there's the kayak course. Canoe's lost. It's the finals time. And 4 very gutsy athletes. Been around a while now. Okay, Ida Novak in red. Amelia Hilgetova in green. Kate Eckhard in blue. And Martina Wegman in yellow. So they go along and then they dive down this spectacular, it looks not that frightening from this angle, but believe me, when you're sitting on top of the bridge, it is, it's very dynamic. There's a big air cushion in there. It controls how much flow comes down the riverway. So you need to ride on top of the wave. The right to call yourself the 2016 Tacen champion. Weather perfect. Good crowd. In fact, you can't see most of the crowd because they're in the middle section. So there's still a lot of athletes there. I don't know, lucky in red. She's worn red in the heats, in the semi-finals from Slovenia. Amelia Hilgetova in the green. Okay, Eckhard from Australia in the blue, and Martina Wegman from the Netherlands in the yellow. As you've seen so far, it's crucial. If you're first over the lip, you normally get yourself into the final. Well, it's being left on the line in green is Amelia Hilgetova. Martina Wegman in the blue boat, which is the yellow top, had a good thing. But Ida Novak, she knows these lines from Slovenia. It's very much a case of Novak from Wegman. Oh, that good stuff in green though. Amelia Hilgetova had a dreadful start, but she's absolutely outwitted the others. And we had a dreadful turn by Ida Novak. So well done to Hilgetova. She really showed them that arriving last, if you have your timing correctly, it really works in your favour. Blocking techniques now, but can Martina Wegman do the same thing again? It looks like they have. This is going to be the closest race yet, and they've sent it to the final. Ida Novak has missed the gate. She's going to be disqualified, but they have another 50 metres to go. It's pure sprinting power. Who wants it most? Coming over the line, it looked looks very close, and it's going to be Amelia Hilgertova who takes the victory, only a metre ahead of Martina Wegman from the Netherlands. That's the closest race we've had yet, and they saved it to the final. Well done, ladies. Well, impressed there. That's the closest race we've had yet. Say hello to the cameras. We're delighted, Amelia. She was by far the last off the starting line, but timed the first up, which was key, knocked the others out of the way. They managed to hold on. Whereas a battle between Hilgertova and Wegman just kept the metre ahead all the way through. So the last event to go of the day is going to be the men's canoe slalom cross final. Final results for the women. Amelia Hilgertova takes it. Second, Martina Wegman from Kate Eckhart, Ida Novak, Kimberly Wood, Joanna Med, Veronika Ratova, Jessica Goldfield, Louise Bettering, and Taya van der Heckenzik. And the last two ladies on this didn't actually start. So moving up to the final, we do have the Czech Republic, Japan, Portugal and France. See them just walking up the side. It's been a lot of fun in this competition. Next generation saying, I want some of that. So we've just had the women's final, now it's going to be the men's final. Andre Tunker has really dominated the racing so far with his red, and I think he's going to keep the red also. Yeah, Tunker takes it. Tsubasa Sasaki is, by the way, the Olympic boat. They came 12th in the C2. So they've had a busy few weeks. Anton Lone in blue. There he is, Andre Tunker from the Czech Republic. Sasaki, Tsubasa Sasaki from Japan in green. Antoine Launay in blue. Managing to do his signs, keep away from the screen. And Boris Nevu has been quiet, but tactically was very clever in the last. Of course, former world number one from France. Right to call yourself a champion 2016 in Tacen in Slovenia. So the last race of today, had hundreds of races today, 3 sets of semi-finals, 3 sets of finals, and then the slalom cross. And here we go. Boris Nevu in yellow is first to establish the lead, going down. He did this the last time, it had a bit of a bump. But so far, no problems now. Just a case of will they all choose the same size to go up on? Well, Boris is safely through. Well negotiated then. It looks like the others are going to be having a fighting a little bit. Sasaki saying, I want second place. Grab second place from Lorne. Boris Nevu seems to have a significant lead here. Coming down for the second up of the day. He's sensibly waiting for all the trouble to go. Shows has a cool head on him. Just needs to go under, keep the bib on, and will cross the line unless there's a major surprise in first place. Well done, Boris Nevu. Boris Nevu takes the victory for France. Andrei Tunka second for the Czech Republic. Tsubasa Sasaki from Japan takes the third place. So good day's work there. Boris Nevu, I asked him the other day if he's going to continue for Tokyo, and he said, well, he's enjoying it at the moment, so look forward to seeing him next season. And on his day, he's one of the fastest 2 or 3 in the world. There's pictures of Boris Nevu. Looks like a very sore ankle. And wins the slalom cross. So Czech Republic take the women's. The crowd. Boris Nevu takes the first position from Andrei Tunka, Sebastian Sasaki, Antoine Lerny, Tuen Long, Simon and Jakub Stanovsky, Shoshu Sasaki, and they come on and on and on. 32 athletes who are actually competing in this. Thank you very much for all of your participations. It's a lot of fun. Some of the athletes who've really lit up our day in the individual C1 and K1 categories. We decided to have a lot of fun as well in this. Only 32 starting. Well, it's been a lot of fun today. There have been some challenges on the course. The bottom 6 gates this morning, there was a few problems there, but the entertainment was still really a top level. Thank you to all the camera crew. Thank you to all the helpers. It's been a really good day. The security has been top class. No real problems, which is good to note. And all the athletes in line, and we'll for the semi-finals.